Hello! Welcome to Game Over Gerkinman, the Wind Waker HD playthrough for this week. This is part 4 of a, I believe, 26-part playthrough. Oh god, that's a lot. We have 3 guests with us this week. Would you kindly introduce yourselves?
Who's going first?
I'll go first this time.
Okay.
Hi guys, it's Demir, or Jess, as you may already know. I make videos on video games, like this kind of sort of game. I can't talk today apparently. That's gonna be great.
It's fun. Hello, I'm Mark, otherwise known as 13. I sometimes animate, although that doesn't seem to be happening too often. But hey, I'm here anyway.
Hello, I'm Flordo. You may have heard about me, you may have not. I do animations, I do some music here and there, and if you want to check me out, you can check me out, baby.
That's what we want. You also do some amazing tutorials.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of sarcastic, great, informative tutorials too. To get some insight on that, check them out too.
Yeah, it's all there. It's all at the end of the video. So yes,
Amazing.
Today we're playing through the first half of Roost Cavern, which is of course the first temple. Or is it technically the second temple? Is Ganondorf's fortress the first temple technically?
Like a little mini temple, I guess, in a way, a little starting introduction thing.
Tutorial.
It's not quite a tutorial, but it's basically, hey, this is the challenge ahead. Are you up to it?
I wouldn't really call it a temple, I reckon it's the
No.
first official temple.
Yep. Good. I'm glad we got that settled. So before we get into the old fireplace here, I learned some things about this too when I was looking up that lighting, when I looked into it afterwards, after I went into it last time.
What'd you find?
An effect they added. It used to be in the GameCube one, every room had that wobbly heat effect in it, and now it's only the rooms with lava in them directly.
Oh,
Yeah.
smart.
And it
Well,
gets
that makes-
more and it gets more wobbly the closer you are to the fire now, which it never used to do. It used to just be like a consistent effect, kind of like the Fire Temple in Ocarina of Time, how the screen used to get all... It used to just skew weird.
When are they
So
going to
what?
have fire version of haptic feedback? Like your screen gets super hot when you're near lava.
I don't know if you've ever touched
no.
your... Yeah, it's fire. I don't know if you've ever touched your screen on a hot day, but they do get rather toasty.
It's hot.
I usually...
Yeah, before we get into this, we've got questions. One of them was supposed to get answered last week, but it didn't, because we got distracted.
How professional.
Jess did some research into the whole Ganondorf. Why Ganondorf is called Ganon in this game as opposed to Ganondorf.
Oh. Ganon versus Ganondorf.
Yes.
Yeah, because in this game they seem to call him Ganon whenever, like, as a human, which doesn't make sense because Ganon is, as we all know, the pig form of Ganondorf. Basically, so Ganondorf has always been known as Ganondorf, like whenever he's a human, even in Link to the Past, which I know isn't chronologically the first game, but it was the third Zelda game that was released. So basically,
So that was the
what
first
that did-
use of Ganondorf as a name, was in Link to the Past. I always assumed that Ocarina of Time introduced the name.
No.
There you go.
Basically what that did, it answered questions for the fans who played like the first 2 Zelda games, and it even explained why he turned into a pig / boar, whatever sort of animal you want to call him. Basically what happened was what happened is whenever Ganondorf goes into the Sacred Realm to take the Triforce, obviously, as we all know, it turns into the Dark World because he's so corrupt. And because he's so corrupt and he's so greedy, he too transforms. So basically, he did it to himself, where he got this power because he had the Triforce of Power. It gave him this ability to be able to transform, and it matched the animal that transformed him, or that he was transformed into. Sorry, was a pig, because pigs are often associated with greed because they eat everything and anything that they want. So
That's
In
kind of
any-
offensive to pigs.
Yeah.
Well, deal with it. So in any game that Ganon the pig
I
makes
thought
an
it was because he was a
appearance-
politician.
No. So in any game that Ganon the pig makes an appearance, it's because of Ganondorf's greedy nature. However, it gets a little murky because chronologically speaking, Ocarina of Time happens before A Link to the Past, and never really explains why Ganondorf can turn into Ganon, other than the fact that the Triforce gave him the power. So it's a little murky there, but that's pretty much what it is. So human is Ganondorf. Pig is Ganon. So that's, I don't understand why they called him Ganon in this game when he's clearly not a pig. I mean, he looks like one, he's fat enough, but...
Oh!
Oh. Well, obviously they were, just, throwing this one.
Yeah,
out.
I think-
Wrote this whole game in a weekend.
Yeah, they
Clearly.
did.
Really try.
Because I
Clearly.
think, like, the whole thing with Ganon being in Ocarina of Time before the whole Dark World thing, that was, like, a thematic thing at the time because Ocarina of Time was basically a 3D remake of A Link to the Past. And they're just like, you gotta have Pig Ganon in there or else people won't feel like it's a Zelda game. So I assume that's why he was in there. And then they had to try to shoehorn a reason why afterwards.
Yeah. Because,
It's
like, whenever...
semi-retconned.
Yeah, in a way. Because, like, if you guys remember from the opening of Wind Waker, it shows Pig Ganon taking over, slowly taking over Hyrule once again. And as we all know, in Ocarina of Time, whenever Link kills him, spoiler alert, for those of you who haven't played it, he is killed as a pig. So that makes sense in a way, but yeah.
Ganon Bacon.
Oh, no.
Bacon Dwarf.
Bakendorf.
There you go.
There
Bit
you
of
go.
game theory for you.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. People love their game theories and so on. And if you got questions, we have answers. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. This entire series will be recorded before we even read them. But maybe we can answer them in some other future Zelda game if I ever feel like making a 30-part game again.
We can
Totally.
pretend that we're answering questions that we read right now.
That's right.
Right. This question says, why does Link have a green hat? Asked by Link question fan number 626.
Oh, good question.
Yeah, we'll look into that and get back to you in several months' time when we play through Ocarina of Time or something. Yeah, it was another thing we had to look into, and it's actually relevant to this temple, which was the connection between Volvagia and Valur.
Oh, right, yes. There was a lot of fan questioning and debate going on about whether or not
Conjecture.
Volvagia and Valur were the same or something of the sort. Now,
Volvagia
in
got
this
fat.
game, it's mentioned and hinted at a lot. Like whenever you go into the temple for the very first time, you do see two dragons, like right at the main entrance, which kind of look like Volvagia.
The Chinese
but
dragons.
also in the Hyrule Historia, it states that there's a possibility that Volvagia is Valu's ancestor. So there you go. It's
Don't you
not
mean
quite
that
canon.
Valu is Volvagia's ancestor?
Pardon me?
Don't you mean that Valu is Volvagia's ancestor?
No, Volvagia. No, because
Volvagia came first.
yes. So Volvagia
Who's
would be
Volvagia?
Valu's ancestor.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Volvagia is
The great ancestor's one of those words. Sorry,
Is that even in Zelda?
Volvagia.
in,
That's
Ocarina
that.
of Time.
Yeah, that's that dragon who flies around.
Oh,
And he's in Zelda 2 as well. Although he was called something else in that, and then they changed his name later on. It was like a
Does
translation
this game have
error.
any direct connections to the original first two Zelda games?
No. Well, it's got
no.
Link in it, and Ganon.
And Zelda.
And Zelda.
Yeah, but
It
it's
all
not the
links
same.
together.
They all link together.
That's why it's called Link, isn't it?
Oh.
You think one day we'll have a 50th Link anniversary, and we'll have all the Links come together in their own game together, kind of like how Doctor Who just did?
That would be amazing.
Doubted.
No, I
But
doubt
to
it
answer
too.
your question, Mark, the first two Zelda games actually happen in a completely different timeline, way after Ocarina of Time. So,
Which one are they? Are they in a different timeline, or they were one of the ones that split off from Ocarina and Majora's Mask?
it's the split off. So it's if the hero is defeated. Which in that
Okay.
timeline, is Link to the Past, Oracle games, Link's Awakening, and then Legend of Zelda, and then The Adventure of Link.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I always like that link between Link's Awakening and the original Zelda, because in Link's Awakening he's sailing on a little boat.
Whenever I play a Zelda game, I don't take into any consideration of what goes where, what came first. I just play Zelda and just care about the story that I'm in right now.
Experiencing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely. I don't blame you. But there are people like me who are like, well, is it a split timeline or is it like, it's
Yeah.
the same Link all the time, that sort of deal.
I can see
There
why
was
you
always
could
a
get
theory
into
too. It was
Hey,
just the
listen.
retelling of the same story over and over again, just slightly differently.
that. Hey, it's Navi. Navi's back in rock
Yeah.
form.
That's where she went at the end of Ocarina of Time. She got trapped in like amber, like in Jurassic Park, and
Wait, so with that rock, because I know the red lion guy can talk in it too. Is it like a communication thing, or is it
Yeah.
only you? I don't get it.
yeah,
It
Tetra
is.
Tetra gives it to you so she can talk to you, and then the King of Red Lions like hacks into it. These
Oh,
lead
okay.
hacking
Is it the same
skills.
with the
It's-
boat? Like the boat
it's
is
a
like a
magic
communication
walkie-talkie.
vessel as well?
Yeah, I think the boat's kind of like a possessed piece of wood. The king's a creepy dude. He just possesses it so he can
King
talk to
can
you.
talk through the boat. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Weird.
gonna be a
Yeah.
boat forever until he rots away.
Yeah.
That's kind of dark.
Oh,
Yeah.
seeing as we're in the Fire Temple, I think last time we brought up the fact this is the first Zelda game in memory where the Fire Temple's the first one and not a Forest Temple. In terms of Fire Temples, because there's been a lot in the series, where does this one sit in your list?
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, I have to think about that for a while.
Sixth from the bottom. Sixth from the bottom.
Six on the bottom. Wow.
What'd be your list then, Mark? If it's six from the bottom, now you have to actually wing it and put them into an order.
I don't even know. It's been a while since I played any of the Zelda games, and so my memory is kind of fuzzy on.
Well, then do it
Everything
based
that's not a
purely off
water
nostalgia. That's all people on the
I
internet
mean-
care about anyway.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the game's fun.
Okay.
Who cares
There
about
you go.
ratings?
Well, I guess people talking, I guess. That's why people do countdowns and stuff, to stir people up and get them to comment on their videos.
It is a good.
Yeah, it doesn't
example,
work.
I must admit. It's got a lot of good things about it. You can go outside and look at the ocean and how.
Yeah, I kind of like
vast
that
it
that
is.
element, actually. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
think,
no.
what other, aside from the Sky Temple and Twilight Princess, which other Zelda games let you actually have, like, outdoor areas as part of the temple? I know there's quite a few
Back
of
to
them in...
next episode.
yeah.
All the temples that
We'll
go
look into it.
outside.
All I can remember is Sky Temple, and a lot of the temples in A Link Between Worlds that I've played so far, you go in and outside of.
I'm just trying to think, and I just can't even think.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
Especially in the morning.
honestly, you can't really do that because they're all usually other dungeons and temples, and they're inside something. Since it's its own island, you're not distracted by anything else on the outside, and then as well, they don't have to render anything other than the ocean and the wind. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess
it's probably
technically.
parts. Yeah.
Sorry, Mark. I guess technically, you could go, quote unquote, outside in one of the Ocarina of Time temples, the Forest Temple, because there were those little bits where you were like out in a little grassy area, and it is in the
but that
forest, so
wasn't
that's
that
kind
wasn't
of
like that wasn't like
but
going
not
into
in
the
this way that
overworld,
you
though.
mean.
Yeah.
No.
Because definitely in
That's more
definitely in the whole Sky Temple and on Twilight Princess was based off that.
Yeah.
I can't speak for
I did-
Skyward Sword.
I just noticed the brilliance of having the music slowly change when there's enemies nearby that are starting to attack you, and how that really helps with gameplay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
how they did that.
I like the
Yeah.
musical cues
And
in combat too. Like when you pull off a combo, the notes get higher with each hit.
Yeah.
Oh, that was really
Yeah.
cool.
Nintendo's always been really good with. Nintendo's been really good with music on a lot of games, especially recently. They've been putting a lot of emphasis into music and stuff. I've noticed.
Yep. It's like a music designy thing. It's not just music. They actually put design into it as well.
Yeah, it's like a sound.
Make it
It's more of a
part of the actual gameplay.
yeah.
good.
It's part of the mechanic. I wish there was something that more people would do.
That is one strong pot.
It is a hell of a strong pot.
Yeah,
it's got that boulder sitting on it with all that weight, and then gets hit with a bomb. Doesn't
Bomb was
even.
made of. Bomb was made of clay. No, the boulder was made of clay.
Yep. So we talked about the lighting. I do like the fact this is a more organic looking fire temple. I'll be honest, I like Dodongo's Cavern in Ocarina of Time, but I'm not particularly fond of the fire temple itself, even though it's like the most temple-y second most temple-y temple in the actual Ocarina of Time game.
Temple.
Well,
It's
like it actually
quite a
feels
purely
like a
temple.
temple. But it's kind of... I find it kind of boring. It's not a very exciting temple to explore, I find.
Yeah,
I do like this area right here. At least has it's kind of showing you that it's a hideout. It's got this is like a table and storage area.
Yeah.
Even though it's a small thing and it doesn't add it realistically, but you know, maybe it's like, hey, this is where they store all their stuff and eat food.
It gives a
All
personality.
The hot people that are here. Yeah, it does.
Makes you feel like a spy in some ways.
I like the moths flying around the torches too. I don't remember them being there in Ocarina of Time, but I remember them being there in Majora's Mask.
Yes, Majora's Mask. Yeah, and they would chase after you and hurt you.
Yeah, you piss off the moths and you're in trouble. 'Cause, you know, they go after you and eat your clothing.
Oh, look at his face. Get ready for the graphics. Oh,
It just
look
looks
at the
so
shadows.
bizarre.
It just looks so weird. And then you walk like a couple of feet and you change back to normal again. So
Yeah, so you
weird.
forgive it and forget it.
Is there music in this temple? I think it's just kind of like more just noises.
No, it's more
Atmospheric.
ambient.
I can hear. Yeah, it's an ambient atmospheric sound.
Yeah. Like as much as I don't particularly care for the fire temple in Ocarina of Time, the music in it's pretty cool.
Well, see, there's controversy with that, right?
Well,
You all know
game
about
trailers
that.
pretty much they solve that mystery on their Pulp Fiction show about the censoring of the Muslim chanting
there's-
and the.
Oh
there's no
yeah.
mystery behind it. There was a Muslim chant, and then they
Yeah,
had to
they
change
used,
it because
they
people
used the
were
Muslim
getting-
chant
Really?
sample in the
In this?
Yeah.
first few releases. Oh, of Ocarina of Time, not this game.
Oh,
And actually, because I own the Ocarina of Time cartridge for the Nintendo 64. I also own the GameCube version that came with that little special disc thing.
Yes.
I have both versions. So like I remember hearing about that and I'm like, "Oh no way, I'm going to have to check that out." And sure as shit, they're two totally different songs.
Well, I don't think the
Personally,
music's
I think the
different.
first one's a lot creepier. Oh no,
Yeah.
it is.
I thought they just removed the sample.
No.
Was it just the sound they took out? Did they also change the symbol that's on the blocks?
Yes, they also
Or
changed the symbol.
They did.
Yeah.
They did change that. Yeah.
Yeah, it has like you had a Muslim chanting in Islamist.
what was the chanting? Do you know?
No, I mean I can well.
It
Must
sounded
have been
like
pretty bad if
something.
they took
Something.
it out.
It sounded no. It was
Blow
like
up the building. Blow up the building.
no. It was like
Oh.
oh jeez. No, it was something about I think it was like one of those like praise Allah type.
A what?
Like it was just like
It was an
praise Allah.
actual like
Yeah.
chant that they used.
Man, that's controversial.
Yeah, because I mean, like Nintendo had like like a DVD full of audio samples, and they just grabbed it because they're like, that sounds cool.
Did anybody care about it back when it came out? Like
Well,
I know.
yeah. Well, the reason
like-
they did remove it because of complaints. I think it was on the first few runs of the cartridges that were manufactured, and then they removed it before they got any complaints because they foresaw problems coming out of it. Like the old story was that they removed it because of complaints, but they removed it beforehand because they were like, "Oh, wait a minute, we should this could cause problems."
They probably
down
had
the
that
road."
one Muslim guy in the office that was like, guys.
Yeah, don't do
Just
that.
so you know,
Jesus. Oh boy.
Muslim references.
Oh boy.
Because obviously in Japan that's not like a big deal.
especially
I don't actually know if
since the
they
game
removed
came
it in
out
the Japanese version.
97.
True.
I wonder if they removed it
But
in
yeah,
the
let's
Japanese
get back
version
to this
too.
game. Let's get back to this game.
Right.
Sure. We're outside again.
What is actually, you know what? Since we're on, forget what I just said. Let's not go back to this game. What's everybody's favorite music in any of the Zeldas? Like maybe their favorite song or something that they can most memorable.
Well, I'd separated the two into two categories. There'd be songs that you play, so just like interactive melodies, and then actual music from the game.
Let's say actual music, so not the interactive melodies.
Mine would have to be mixed between this battle music that we're hearing right here, and also just the Dragon Roost Island music itself is.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Oh my god!
A lot of the Wind
It's
Waker
beautiful.
tracks are
And there's
pretty
that one song from Spirit. Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. And there's that one song from Spirit
Oh,
Tracks.
the overworld music from Spirit Tracks is awesome.
And oh, I know I have more. I can't pick just one. There's too many. Because like the Astral Observatory is amazing. The Windmill Hut music is amazing. It's like a fan favorite. You know, there's just too many to really narrow it down. But
I think my absolute favorite. I'm sorry, are we still talking about
no,
your
go
favorites?
ahead. No. Go ahead.
My absolute favorite has to be from Link to the Past. It's the Dark Forest / Death Mountain music, which is I think my absolute favorite. Would love to hear an orchestrated version of that.
Oh, that is really good. And also the Fortune Teller's theme. That's good. Love it.
What about you, Sean?
Man. Actually, I like a lot of the music, despite how much I don't really like Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword music was actually pretty half decent, I thought.
Well, it was all orchestrated.
Some of the themes,
which made a big difference.
Yeah, like some of the shop themes are pretty nice.
So, was it the Goddess's theme music?
Yeah,
It gets
yeah.
used a lot. Yeah, it's a great track.
Yeah, all those sort of music themes are pretty nice. Wind Waker, I think, were more recognisable for me and more like stick with you. For instance, like the sailing theme, I like the sailing theme, it really suits. Sort of just gets stuck in your head, ready for adventure. But yeah, I don't know, it's hard to really remember a lot of the other soundtracks from the other games because I haven't really played them as much as Wind Waker and Twilight Princess and all those sort of games, so...
Yeah, I really like Midna's theme from Twilight Princess.
Yeah, that's a nice track.
I think my favorite track from the whole franchise is probably The Last Day from Majora's Mask. It's just like the most ominous thing ever, and it's just like just like single keys being hit with just like droning noises in the background.
Droning noises.
Just like this droning sound in the background. Yeah, I love it.
Creepy.
So there's your answer, Mark. Yeah, no one said anything from Rocker. I was
thank
waiting
you.
for someone to be like, Gerudo Valley, for sure.
Gerudo.
Well,
You
it is
like
a good
Gerudo Valley
song.
It is.
soundtrack, right?
I think
Tell us
remixes
the
ruined that
confidence.
song for me. There's like 10 billion remixes of it, and
They all sound the same.
they all sound the same. Although it sounds pretty good with hip hop over the top of it.
A bit of dubstep.
So-
And
Now
we
we're
can't forget
watching-
the very favorite Kpora Gaybora theme. Oh man.
I hate that, Al.
Who's a gay Bora?
The
I don't even know what gay Bora is. Is that like something out of an older Zelda game or something?
That's the owl with the eyebrows.
it's the owl.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that everybody has to listen to that music like 50 times because they accidentally hit.
Yeah, the first time you
no,
talk to
you
him,
say,
yes is at
"Do
the
you
top and
understand
no's at the
me?"
bottom, and then he swaps it around all of a sudden afterwards.
No.
Your muscle memory betrays you. Yes,
Man, I'm
stuff
pretty
that
sure
up.
you cracked your kneecaps on that drop there.
I don't know if Little Link has kneecaps because his legs are so short.
Short people have kneecaps.
Yeah, but he's so short.
You would know, Mark. Great.
I get it because I'm Link.
Oh, yeah. It's not because you're
Yeah.
only, what is it, 3.5 foot tall.
Oh, Dan, you don't know the difference between the metric system and my fist in your face. Oh, damn.
Well, this is going right off the rails, but that's okay because this is the end. So,
Yeah.
thank you, Jess. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this adventure through Dragon's Roost Cavern. Next week, we'll kill the giant lava arachnid.
Well, we'll try.
Goma.
Yeah.
Goma Man. Is it Goma?
Will Dan be able? Will
Arachnid-
Dan be able to do it?
Arachnid
Tune in
Goma?
next time.
Yeah, tune in and find out. Thanks again, everybody.
Same link time, same link channel.
Okay,
You too.
Mark, I'm cutting you off now.